session that is talking about promoting excellence in higher education. So, and given the five speakers we have talking from a technology and an experience-based perspective, the purpose of this session would ideally be to point out as to what is lacking in terms of achieving that high level of quality and how do we reach there. So what we are really looking for is some easy, simple, tried out, research-backed, hopefully, suggestions that some of us could carry back and use them to good effect. My recent work has been with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and at the foundation, some of our more important work has been on primary education. And Bill Gates's point has always been that if primary education is of poor quality anywhere in the world, then it is in the United States, right? And therefore, the only country that we work on as far as education is concerned is in the US. Much of our learning on what makes for good quality education comes therefore from the work that we've done in the United States. In India, we only work on maternal and child health, and again, Bill Gates's point is that if health care is very bad anywhere in the world, then it is in India. So we do only work in India on health care. I just had a brief 1 or 2 points to put forward. One, possibly the biggest learning that we've had from about a decade and a half of working with providing quality education is that statistically we've discovered that in almost all cases, the biggest factor that correlates to good quality education is a good quality teacher. So you can have various other variables, but the variable that seems to be most closely correlated to good quality education is a good quality teacher. So therefore, how do we improve the quality of teachers is the question that I pose to all of you. Is a good quality teacher someone who has great technical ability, someone who has at her fingertips the latest in technology? Is it someone who has great access to information, or is it someone who's been trained very highly in the subject of her, or that is her discipline? Is the ability to communicate the most important ability that a teacher should have? Is it the ability to convert students into hands-on practitioners? All these are questions that teachers and eminent educationalists like you would have some insight on, and that's the insight that we are really looking for from each one of you on what it is that makes a good teacher. That's my point. I'm sure you'll have other things to say on what makes for excellence in education, especially in a country like India. The second point that I have been writing on for some time is that it is a strange anomaly that in India, while we produce these 500,000 engineers and 200,000 MBAs and 100,000 PhDs in about 700 different universities, and seem to be producing this for the rest of the world, for the most cutting edge of industry anywhere. Anywhere that you can see, why is it that our university system turns out to be such a poor one on any global ranking? This is a question that beats poor economists like me who have to answer this question in various parts of the world. Why does India have such a third-rate university system? Why is it that no Indian university figures in the top 100? Why is it that maybe 1 or 2 figure in the top 200? Even if you have a very modest Asian ranking system, then you have 1 or 2 IITs who figure somewhere in the 30s and 40s. And these are institutions that we have been talking about all over the world, saying these are the best in the world and so on, and they figure nowhere in the top. So why is it that even in Asia, our institutions don't figure as great institutions, much as we are proud of them and have invested billions of dollars into these? So that's another question that begs for an answer. Is it because we don't foster a system of robust research? Is it because the incentive systems in our higher education system are lopsided and reward only those who do repetitive exercises? Is the incentive system not geared towards encouraging innovation? What is the issue? Again, I turn to all of you who have had, and I know some of you really well, who have thought of this question and who have at various times spoken on this and written on this. So that's really the second big issue that I would like to highlight, the institutional issue. The third issue, the third basket that I'm presenting in front of you is that what do we do next? We certainly have some decent infrastructure available. We certainly have great dexterity with technology. We surely have a few million students walking up to our system soon. So what do we do? What do we do with them next? What is it that will make Indian institutions good? What is it that will enable our students to come out on top? And how is it that we address the issue that this session looks at, which is achieving excellence in higher education? The little point that I want to remind you of is that when we look at our primary education itself, we seem to have done okay. And I'm saying okay very precisely because in the 90s, the education debate was half-baked. We never talked about education seriously. Then Amartya Sen got the Nobel Prize and, he started talking about education because he started talking about education. He also talked about health, but that we ignored. Education we took up, and by about 2003-04, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, etc., midday meal scheme, we pushed up our enrollment figures. So from an enrollment of 60-70% in the late 90s to an enrollment rate of about 98% last year, we seem to have done very well in putting our youngsters, our really young kids, into school. And then came the Asar reports and the work that Pratham did and so on, and told us that yes, you did very well by putting kids into school, but their quality is terrible. And that I need not repeat. Study after study shows how class 7 students can't read class 2 textbooks, even in industrialized states like Gujarat and so on, not to speak of UP and Bihar. So is it that our quality is equally bad throughout? Bad at the primary level, bad at the secondary level where we have some 70% kind of dropouts, and bad at the tertiary level where we have, at the best, mediocre universities. So that's the background, that's the platform, and that is where I would like each one of you to talk a little bit about what you do, but more specifically on how your insight and your experiences would help us take India's higher education to a completely different level if we are to become the knowledge economy that we promised ourselves. So what we'll do is we'll have these 5 speakers get 5 minutes each, and I'll just follow the order in which they were introduced, after which I will throw it open for questions and discussion. Yeah. And the choice that I will give to each one of you is whether you would like to speak from here or go up to the dais and speak. So we'll start. All right. So is that the order? And the rest are okay?